Hi guys and gals, Froggy here. This is the filter element diatomaceous earth filter element it's a hayward off my pool, and it's cracked here. I'm going to have to replace this header or manifold, whatever you want to call it. I've already got the replacement. Here's the tricky part. It says short element here, and that's when you buy these replacement filters, just not the whole thing, but just these little wings. I call them wings. Water goes through it, the DE adheres to it, and that filters the water. Anyway, when you go to put them back, there's one short element. See, it says right there, and that's this one right here, and the rest of them are long. It's short this way. These are long this way. So you have to make sure that the manifold is set on there so that the short element goes there, and then put all the rest on. The short element, the short part of it, right there where I'm tapping, goes to the outside, and all the rest of them, the short part goes to the inside. See that? Short to the outside, short to the inside. Now I'm going to wash this down, take it apart. I already took apart one. This one rod runs right through the middle of it. So you have to undo that, and that releases the top manifold from the bottom manifold. Okay, now we're going to take each one of these individual elements off, wash it off, get the new header, put it all back together. Okay? And when you put this back together, remember the little labels. Pleatco is the company. I've had good luck with them. I'll put a link if they sell on Amazon. Anyway, the little labels go up. Okay, here's the new top manifold. What do they call it? Oh, they've got like a little flex tube. I don't know what it is. It's like a breather tube or some kind of a tube that you put on here. That's nice that they gave you this instead of reusing the old one. And they give you a clamp also. They don't give you the new steel rod or the threaded rod that goes through the middle. Anyway, that looks pretty good. The old one lasted over 20 years, so the bottom still alright. I guess maybe there's more pressure on this top end than the bottom end, or more heat or more something. Anyway, let's put it on. I got these side by side here. I'm pretty sure I've got the right part. It looks like the pleated filters, Pleatco filters, will set in there okay. This and this look okay. There are some differences, but overall, it looks like the right part. I think maybe in 20 years they've changed a few things. This breather tube, however, I don't know. I might have to reuse the old one. It looks all right. I'm going to take it off and lay it side by side. Yeah, they're quite different. The length is different, and really it's just the length. I guess it'd be alright if it wasn't a different length. I could cut it, but it's got these holes on the bottom end. That's for the water or air to come in. It's an air relief system is what it is, an air relief system. I just could stick this old one on there. The connector is the same size. I'm thinking the alignment of that cutout on the bottom would align with, there's a feed tube that brings the water that is to be filtered into the filter, and that tube is like from there to there, and then the filter kind of goes around it. So I'm going to line those two up. I didn't really take notice of it, but I believe that will be correct. If it's wrong, I'll have to do it over again. So every time I do this, I learn something and maybe get it a little better. Anyway, remember the short one is in the correct position on the upper manifold. Then I flipped the whole thing over because it was very hard to align. I was trying to line the bottom first and then the top, and I think if I flip it over, shove the top into all its slotted openings, and then I'm going to try and get the bottom on. Let's see how this works. Alright, so I watched a few other videos, and the ones that seemed to go easiest were turning the thing upside down like I've got that. Get those keys or slots or keys, they drop in pretty easy this way, and then put the bottom, which is facing up, put the bottom on last. Now I had thought that these ends of the tubes right there, the tubes that run down the middle of the filters, I thought they had to be located where certain of these bumps are on the bottom grid holder, but I think I'm wrong on that. I think the only thing you have to make sure is that each one of the grids is in these slots. There's slots in the bottom holder. So you're going to have to play a little bit with this. It's not too bad. Make sure the middle part sets down there good, and just go on each one of these arms that comes out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at it and make sure that there's a grid in that slot, in that slot, in that slot, in that slot. This outside one kind of wants to go that way, but it'll be all right once I get in there. So I'm going to check that now, and then the final thing will be drop your rod down there, flip the whole thing over. I think you can like hold it together with your two strong arms and flip it over. The rod comes out the other end, and put the nut on it. Okay, what I did, because this filter, it's not heavy when it's empty, but it's bulky and big, so I just laid it over. I just took it and I held one hand here and took my other hand there, and the rod was already sticking out, so I just laid it down like this. Remember, this was the bottom on the ground. Laid it down, and then I got my wrench on one end, and I got my impact tool on the other end, and screwed it, and it looks excellent. It looks perfect, ready to drop back in. I put that little. Remember, don't tighten this up too much. It's plastic. It's just holding everything in place. It's not making a seal or anything. If you make it tighter, it's just holding everything in place. Okay? Where's that little yellow thing? Hold on. Okay, I got it. It fell down. So, whoop. That's my wrench. So, shove that thing on there. I'm not even sure why they have that on there, just so this won't, I don't know, what would this hit? It's all filled with water, so I don't know. This is going to be the end of this video, because I have another video that shows you taking it out and putting it back in and everything. This is a video just about assembling the grid. Okay, so give me a thumbs up or a like if this helps you out. Subscribe to my channel if you want more from Froggy. Be safe, have fun, and shout out to David, who has a pool channel, and he's really good too. So hey David, thanks. See you later. Bye bye. Froggy out. Let me add one little last tip, and excuse the noise. The yard guys are next door. I had a little trouble priming the pump after I got it all back together, and I was beating my brain up trying to figure out what it was. Turns out when I put the filter back together, there's a great big rubber gasket that runs around there. And usually I lube it up with silicone grease, and this time I used a silicone spray. Well, apparently there was some kind of a very small air leak there that was giving me a problem with priming the pump. So I took that apart. I put my silicone grease all around it. I tightened it on there, and it went the first time. It just primed up like a champ. So just a little tip at the end. Froggy out. Bye.